Meta is raising the bar once more with the new partnership they have with Microsoft on the new release of LLAMA-2. And Microsoft just announced this partnership in the just concluded Microsoft Inspire event. LLAMA-2 was just one of the 5 main announcements that Microsoft made at the Microsoft Inspire event. I'll be discussing the details of the other 4 announcements later in this video. For now, I'll tell you that Microsoft is really stepping up its game this time. The link to the announcements will be in the description in case you want to take a look at them. LLAMA-2 will be an update to the already existing Llama that was released earlier this year by Meta. And the Llama project is basically a foundational large language model which is designed to further help with the advancement of AI. This is a largely open source model, just like most other AI projects from Meta, which helps researchers with a better understanding of how AI models work, while providing developers with the resources to build their own models based on the foundation already provided by Llama. This update is a move towards the democratization of AI and also a good way for Meta to ensure that they get the needed spread that they need to stay in the game. Training large language models can be really expensive in terms of the computing power and resources needed to run and maintain the systems. And so, not many can afford to start building any from the ground up. What Meta is offering with all these open source programs is the room for developers to leverage the opportunity. Llama is comparatively smaller than most models, which makes it easier to run on less expensive devices. And LLAMA-2 is being made available on Windows so that anyone can download and run the program on smaller computers for free. But in case you don't want to download the program directly to your computer, LLAMA-2 will be available as an Amazon Web Service, as well as Azure and some other web hosting services, where you can pay for the services to access the program. With this access, this foundational model can be effectively applied in the creation of chatbots, used for code generation and also help in generating different contents for users. For those of you who don't know what Microsoft Azure is, it's a cloud computing service that's being hosted by Microsoft. And basically, it's a platform that hosts different computing services, which allows developers access to make use of these resources in building new applications. They just provide the storage and computing power needed to run some programs, so you don't have to worry about those. During the Microsoft Inspire event, they did run a demonstration on how you can use LLAMA-2 on the platform. And while this was being demonstrated, they did point out something really interesting. LLAMA-2 comes with a host of generative features which developers can fine-tune to create their own applications. Now, the good thing here is that fine-tuning these models makes the performance a whole lot better. And this is what Jessica Hawk, Corporate Vice President in Data, AI and Digital Applications at Microsoft, described as the currency of AI. And I do agree with this assertion. Because removing efficiency from AI, I don't see any other point why we should be putting so much effort into making them. And Azure has an integrated safety feature that allows for the protection of your inputs and outputs. It also helps to filter any content that might be deemed offensive or improper in any way before launching your applications. You can even monitor the progress of the created application on the program as it's being used. When you go through the paper on the LLAMA-2 project, you'll discover that the information in Table 2 shows that the model has 4 different sizes, which are 7B, 13B, 34B, and 70B. And in case you're wondering what those figures stand for, they're basically the parameter sizes for each size. The first 2 smaller ones are what you can easily run on smaller devices for smaller tasks, while the other 2 are meant for tasks that require a lot more computing power, such as natural language processing and machine translation. At this point, I'd like to digress a bit to cover some of the other announcements that Microsoft's CEO Satya Nadella made during this event. These are really impressive additions, which I think was a move by Microsoft to maintain relevance in this race. There were over 40 new announcements made during this event, but let's focus on the 5 highlighted by Nadella. First, I'd like to talk about the Bing Chat Enterprise. In a previous video, I did talk about how many businesses and companies are not yet embracing generative AI for their day-to-day activities because of the lack of data security. And I did say I hope something will be done to resolve that. Well, now Microsoft has provided a platform for that with this feature. The problem with the other language models like ChatGPT and Bard is that most of the user activities are monitored and used to train the systems, which means you won't be exactly comfortable sharing your sensitive data on any of them. Bing Chat Enterprise allows you to lock your conversation on the platform, and not even Microsoft can view your activity on the platform. But I bet many will still want to be convinced beyond all reasonable doubt before using this. Some companies even had to ban the use of generative AI in their workspaces to avoid leaks. Hopefully this will be able to fill that gap. The second announcement was the Microsoft Sales CoPilot. Microsoft Sales CoPilot is basically an AI assistant that helps anyone in sales to be more productive while being more in tune with the customer base. It can automate tasks like entering data into CRM systems and provide insights into customer behavior. This way, users can focus on more important things like building relationships and closing deals. The Sales CoPilot can automatically enter data into CRM systems so that users don't have to waste time doing it manually, and will also provide insights into customer behavior and to help the user understand how to best attend to their needs and ensure better results. And this can suggest the next steps in the sales process, so sales reps don't have to spend time figuring out what to do next. The other feature, which is the Power Automate Process Mining, is designed to help establishments see how their business processes actually run. It's basically a tool that lets you into your strengths and weaknesses in your processes for more informed decisions to be made. For example, you could use Power Automate Process Mining to see how long it takes to process a customer order. You could also see which steps in the process are taking the most time. Once you know where the problems are, you can start to fix them. A summary of the basic tasks you can carry out with this tool includes being able to find out where your processes are getting bogged down, helping identify areas where you can automate tasks for higher productivity and speeding up your processes. Overall, you get to make your customer base more satisfied with your services. The last of the 5 is the new updates that Microsoft has added to the Azure Migrate and Modernize tool. Azure Migrate helps users to discover, assess, and migrate on-premises servers, apps, and data to the Microsoft Azure cloud. These new updates will make the Azure Migrate and Modernize capable of helping customers migrate to the cloud and apply AI to their businesses. Azure Migrate and Modernize will help customers simplify their migrations and save in the process. It will basically be a tool to help users improve their decision-making, increase customer engagement, and reduce costs. These are part of Microsoft's commitment to helping customers build a strong digital foundation and continue innovating forward. These are really crazy additions that will place Microsoft really close to the top in this AI race. And if you really paid attention to these features, you'll notice that Microsoft has identified workspaces as their stronghold. So they're just doing everything possible to make their mark in that space. Microsoft has also been having a lot of collaborations with other companies. One of the major partnerships they have is with OpenAI, which allows them to integrate some of their tools into Microsoft's. And now they're having another with Meta. We hope to see more amazing stuff coming up as a result of these collaborations. Looking back to the discussion about the LLAMA-2 project, one significant thing there is the ability of the program to run on smaller devices. First is that it's available in Windows, meaning you can easily access it from your computer. And secondly, Qualcomm is partnering with Meta on this to bring Llama to even smaller devices by 2024. And I'm not really sure which version it'll be, because certainly by 2024, we're likely to have newer versions of Llama. What this partnership means is that you'll be able to run Llama locally on your mobile phones. This will be very much insane. It's a really good way to integrate AI more into our daily lives, considering how much time we spend on these devices. And I do like the recent moves that's being made to localize the operation of these AI programs. This is very similar to Orca, which is just a mini version of ChatGPT, only that it will run on smaller devices and won't require internet access to function. And Google is replicating the same with Palm 2. However, there's one condition to having Llama run on your phone, which is that the device will have to be powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon processors that will roll out by 2024. These are interesting times ahead, which I believe will enhance productivity and overall user experience. Let's know your thought in the comment, and we'll see you in the next video.